So this is Cepheus Cards. It's basically a set of cards that you can incorporate in your play of Cepheus Engine or Traveller or any other of the 2d6 science fiction based games. It might work for other games, but you'll have to make your own decision on whether it suits your particular system. It brings a new style of play to Cepheus Engine or Traveller, which are usually quite serious gameplay modes, hard sci-fi kind of things, where this sort of brings a more liberal attitude to the rules. I'll show you some of the cards and that'll be the best way to explain what they do. So at the start of your session, deal out everybody 2-3 cards or so and just let them hold them in their hands. Don't let anybody else know what they've got. No, everyone keeps their cards to themselves unless they're doing a swap or something. Okay, so then every time somebody rolls dice and they succeed, give them another card. If they roll and they fail, give them 2 cards. But once they get to 6 cards, make them immediately discard one, so they never have a hand over 5. If you get more than 5, then it starts getting tricky to keep track of them. The idea is that people are going to have these in their hands and they're going to look at them occasionally, and they just need to remember them. So if you have too many cards, it gets a bit tricky. The cards themselves, when they come printed, 9 to a page in the supplied PDF. So with 6 pages, you get 52 cards, and there are 2 decks of cards in here, and you can mix and match them with no problems at all. Also, I should add, you get all of the individual card images as well. So if you want to print them in some other mechanism or use them on a virtual tabletop, you can do that too. So let's go through and look at a few of the cards. Okay, so this one's really simple. +1 to an attack, or anything that can be construed as an attack. So you'll roll your dice, play this card and get a bonus +1, which should make it easier. So that's straightforward, and this is symbolic basically of this type of card. There are cards that affect particular types of action, such as this one, or even more specific, or vaguer. Okay, now here's like a meta card. So as soon as you are given this card or you draw this card from the deck, it says play immediately. So you discard it and everybody draws a card. So it keeps a circulation of cards in play. Then over here, light-fingered, you successfully pickpocket 1 item. Again, you can interpret this how you want, but my intention as the author was that you can just pickpocket something in the story. So there's no need to make a roll. You just succeed because that's what your card gives you. Let's move on. You wait, what? And again, this, you let out an awful smelly. Everyone turns away in disgust. Well, this is very frivolous. It's very far away from what you might consider your normal Traveller or Cepheus game. Of course, your sessions may differ to mine, but this kind of silliness, you can throw this card away. You don't have to use it if you don't want to, but it can add some fun. And again, it's in the story. So you can play it at the most inopportune moment and have a good laugh about it. Now here's a really kind of handy one for the fiction. You just happen to know a fact. Doesn't matter what it is, you just happen to know it. Of course, the referee can overrule it if he wants, but that kind of goes against the spirit of it. Let's suppose you're trying to get through a door and you need a key code. Well, you could just randomly press buttons and you get in. You don't have to actually know what that code was, because as soon as you've played that card, that means either you did know that number or the fact that you press those random buttons taught you that you know what the number is. So again, they're open to some interpretation, and again you have to decide on what that is amongst your group. Again, here's another case of silliness. You deflect an attack, so somebody successfully hits you, you dodge it somehow, and it hits another PC or NPC. So you can have some fun. Perhaps you pick up a metal plate, deflect a bullet, and it hit one of the enemy mooks. Again, you can interpret it how you want. And if you want to add clarifications, the majority of the cards have plenty of space at the bottom, so you can add additional details onto that card if you want. Now, you don't have to print these onto cards. What I personally do is I print them out onto paper, cut them out, and then I have card sleeves, and I just slip these into a card sleeve and then drop a standard playing card behind that to give it some stiffness. That helps with shuffling and things. There you go. That's Cepheus Cards. Add some levity and some new card play mechanics into your standard science fiction games. There's a link in the description if you're interested in picking it up.